So, um, Sheffield United, after 15 games, were the worst team in Premier League history with 2 points. Derby in 2007 had more points, who got their one win against us, by the way. Even the shite Sunderland teams of old that got relegated bottom of the league had more points than this team. And what does Steve Bruce's Newcastle do? We'll make every team look like they belong, like they're a Premier League team, and like they're way superior to Newcastle United. It's disgraceful. It really, really is disgraceful. We didn't have a shred of a clue. Even when we were up one player and had the 11 men, we didn't look tactically anything. Bruce is saying in his press conferences, "Oh, well, I've been doing this, I've been doing that." We showed progression over the Christmas. Yeah, where we scored no goals in open play. That's now 8 games. 8. I've never known that under McLaren. I've never known it under Pardew. I've never known it under flipping John Carver, Joe Kinnear. Some of the shite we've had over the years, and not one of them have went 8 games without a goal in open play. Sheffield United's last clean sheet was against Derby in the Bastard Cup. Derby County, they're sitting bottom of the Championship. That's the last time they kept a clean sheet. And the last time they did in the league was the back end of last season. The last time they won a game in the Premier League was the last game of last season. That's the last time Sheffield United won a game of football in the Premier League. They've looked shit all season, hopeless, rudderless, guideless. Yet we go and make them look like Brazil. It's just beggars belief. This manager, man, absolute car crash of a manager. He keeps saying we're work in progress and let's roll our sleeves up. What excuse you got now? Well, it's not good enough. We're going to go back to the training ground and do what exactly? What are we working on? What are we working on as a football team? Because all we did today was boot the ball to Callum Wilson, who had no one around him. Not a player around him. Not one of them. And he's going to say in his press conferences, "Oh, we'll have to do this, we'll have to do that." The only thing you need to do, Steve Bruce, is fuck off. You're a flipping arsehole of a manager. And you know what it is? People say you're a nice lad and that. Fair enough, you might well be, but I'm starting to take it personally what you're doing at my football club. Every bastard week, we'll have to watch this shit. We don't look anything. You've had 80 million on attacking players, and we don't look anything. Going forward, we look nothing. No goals in open play in 8 games. Not one. We haven't even looked like scoring a goal. The closest we got tonight was flipping Boggleland. He chesting into his own goal. 96 minutes gone. And that's the closest Newcastle United got to a goal. All game against bottom of the league. 2 bastard points. And you've got assholes like Jamie Redknapp saying he's doing a great job before the match. And we'll play like that. In the last month, man, we've been beat off Brentford reserves and flipping Sheffield United. We're first team. He plays 5 at the back against shite and we'll sit off them and they dominate with. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's flipping ridiculous, man. It's pathetic. You know what it is? If you're a Geordie and you have any self-respect as a fan, you would do the right thing and you'd walk out the flipping door. But you'll sit there and you'll say, we're mid-table. Your luck's run out, man. Your luck has run out. It's gone. It's finished. It's done, man. We look dead. Look at half the players that we've got on the field that you've managed for 18 months. The zombies walking around the field. Sean Longstaff's a flipping shadow of himself. An absolute shadow. From the lad that came onto the scene under Rafa. Complete different player. I mean, man, you will link with him. They wouldn't even give 50 pence for him now, man. It's flipping disgraceful. This manager is going to relegate Newcastle United. One of our own, apparently. One of our own. And you've got pundits defending him every week. Oh, he's a great manager. He's a great manager. He's a great manager. 18 months and I fail to flip and say it. I kind of count on one hand the amount of good performances we've had under him. The fact of the matter is, we haven't looked anything at all like a good side since Rafa Benitez left. We're just getting worse and worse and worse. And do you know what it is? We'd be bottom of the league right now if we went for Callum Wilson managing to nick a penalty here and there. We'll be bottom of the flipping table, and that's in the bottom of the table have just outclassed us, just like Fulham outclassed we, just like West Brom outclassed we, just like Brentford flipping reserves outclassed we, just like every team over Christmas outclassed we. We're shit, man. was shit under Steve Bruce. And do you know what it is? There's actually a couple of decent talented players there. Got a core defence that Rafa had, decent. Obviously, you've got some potential in the midfield. Got Isaac Hayden, some hard-working midfielders, and you've got some talent up front. Yet he doesn't get he doesn't even get the medium out of them. Never mind the best. We don't push forward. We just boot the ball up. And you know what it is? You'll blame that we had 10 men. We're outclassed before. Fraser got himself sent off, man. Like, I this football club, I don't think I can stomach another game under him. I cannot. Like, it takes a lot for me to get this annoyed. It really has. It really does. But, like, it's just so painful, man, under this manager. I mean, every week, we don't learn from our mistakes. We don't learn out. We're just falling down the league, and we'll get told by his mates, the people who have the same agent as him, oh, he's a great man, he's doing a lovely job. You'd be foolish for sacking Steve Bruce. Foolish. Foolish. I just want my team to have a bit of success, man. See that picture up there? 1969. It's black and white, most of it, right? That's the last time Newcastle was successful. It's the last time Newcastle had hope. Do you know what I mean? I haven't seen it in my lifetime, any success, any hope. Mike Ashley sucked it out the club. But this manager, man, as bad as Newcastle have been under Mike Ashley, it's never got to this point. I've seen Newcastle be relegated twice, and I haven't seen them play that bad over a course of 18 months. That regularly, that bad, all the time. Never in my life. And there might be people that defend Steve Bruce and say we're mid-table. At the end of the day, man, you've got to call a spade and just say it was flipping damn outright lucky. Outright lucky. Some of the penalties and some of the decisions he was getting, man, and some of the shithouse things that was happening. I mean, take flipping Tottenham this season, or Wolves, where we got dodgy set pieces and we took with chances. Other than that, we played off the park. And he'll sit there and say, oh, we deserved, like, he'll sit there and brag that we're mid-table, and his remit's to keep winning the division, lowering his expectations because he knows he's not good enough. It's beggars belief. It is. I'm just so deflated. Anger's turned to deflation, and yeah, it's devastating. It is. It's horrible. I can't. I just, the way we're playing, man. We've been saying it on the podcast for a while. We're just sleepwalking into relegation. And, like, we get told every week by these pundits like Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton that we're wrong and we're being deluded and we expect Champions League. We just expect a team that looks like it knows what it's doing and can push forward and give the fans some fight, man. Just some hope where we can go into a game against one of the worst teams in Premier League history and think, you know what, we've got a comfortable 3 points tonight, we can have a push on. But no, people are cautious. All these might actually turn us over. It's the least shocking shock of the season. Them be turning us over. I don't even know what. Like, at the end of the day, like, honestly, I'll put a question to you watching this now. Where's the next win going to come from? Where's the next win going to come from? Like, we went into Christmas, we played that Fulham side, and we needed to beat them because of what we had over Christmas. We knew we were going to lose every game over Christmas. And then people were saying, oh, the Sheffield United game, because of the teams we have after it, like Arsenal and Palace. And like, where's the next win going to come from? Seriously? Where's it going to come from? Because unless we get rid of Steve Bruce, there's no hope. There's just nothing. It's dead, man. It's gone. It's finished. And, like, yeah, Mike Ashley needs to go, but I've never seen a clueless manager like it. I'd rather have John Carver. That's how desperate I'd be to get rid of Steve Bruce. He's that clueless as a manager. And I swear to God, like, honestly, if he's not sacked by the time we film a podcast tomorrow, it's going to be a long one. Honestly, I hate being right about Steve Bruce. I do. I hate being right. I hate being right about him. I hate the fact that like we post every week that we're sick of him and we put him down and and the players down. I want to be positive as a fan. I want to be optimistic for games. I want to be optimistic for a season. But the very best we can hope for is a couple of dead games at the end of the season that don't mean anything because we're comfortable. That's the best Newcastle can hope for. With the amount of money that we've put into the club, it's beggars belief, because that's all that Rafa wanted, a little bit of investment in the attacking and the training facilities. Yet you gave Steve Bruce the investment, Mike Ashley, and you didn't give it to Rafa Benitez. You gave investment to Steve McLaren, and he relegated with. And you've gave investment to Steve Bruce, and if we keep going like this and we keep him, we'll get relegated. But you've got to learn the lessons. Lee Charnley especially. Steve McLaren put us too deep in a hole to dig for Rafa Benitez to dig well off at the end of the season when we lost 3-1 to Bournemouth. You've got to rectify that. You've got to put it right, and you've got to sack him now before we're up shit creek without a paddle. He's got to go. He's got to go, man. Honestly, he's got to go. I know it's been said for the last couple of weeks that he's been needing to go, but if this doesn't tell you that he needs out, then nothing will. Because honestly, you've got a toxic fan base attacking each other on social media out of sheer frustration at this manager. And all the goings on with the takeover and that's irrelevant right now. We're talking about a third relegation, man, in 13 years. That's the writing on the wall right now. If we stick with Steve Bruce, this club is heading for a third relegation in 13 years. And do you know what it is? It'll be the most embarrassing of the three. Do you know why? Because we've spent money. We've got players like Callum Wilson in our team. I feel so sorry for him. I really do. He turned down Aston Villa to come here. And look where Aston Villa are and look where we are. Look how they try and play football and try and make things happen. They put 7 past Liverpool. In that time, I don't think we've scored 7 goals. Do you know what I mean? We've just got to get him out, man. I mean, I apologise for me rant. I don't usually go on a tirade, but I'm sick of this man. I'm sick of him. He's got to go, man. As always, I would do appreciate your support, especially in times like this. We've got to stick together, man, not attack each other. Do appreciate your support, and Paul will be on the podcast tomorrow with me, and yeah, it should be an interesting one. But as usual, it's probably what we've said all season. Bruce has got to go. And honestly, one final message to Steve Bruce: if you have any self-respect, you will walk away. But yeah, get out my club, Steve Bruce.